Hello everyone. Today we'll be talking about how to calculate your ovulation day and your fertile days. This is very important because if you're trying to conceive and you don't know how to calculate your fertile days and your ovulation day, believe me, you can try and conceive for years. You will not even believe that it's because of a simple mathematical calculation that kept you there. So today we'll be using the manual method, the calendar method to do this calculation. I know that some of us we like to use the app and all of it, but the calendar method is still 100% accurate. So if you understand it, it's your gain and you're going to use it to actually stay out of even trying to get pregnant. Like, if you don't want to get pregnant, you can use it to actually know your safe days and be out of it. That is what I'm using, the calendar method. Believe me, I'm not even using any app to know my ovulation day. The 3 children I have, I didn't use any app to track it. It was all manual calculation that I used. And manual calculation can actually help you to actually equally predict the sex of your baby too. The type of sex you want. You can actually use calendar method to know it and know when to have intimacy so you can achieve that. So let's get started. First, there is an important factor which is to know your cycle length. A lot of women are making that mistake. They don't know their cycle length, or they just know that, oh, I'm seeing my period. For you to use the calendar method, the first thing you must understand is your cycle length. Very, very important. Standardly, World Health Organization have it that there is a normal cycle length for women. We're using 21 days to 35 days. That means anything outside 21 days is considered abnormal. Anything above 35 days is considered abnormal. But I know that there are exceptions, all right, because all women are not the same. Our body is different, all right. So let's get started. Let's first of all determine our cycle length. You need to understand your cycle length first, okay? So let's say, assuming that this is an illustration, assuming that you started bleeding on 4th of March. I'm using the month of March 2024. Assuming you started bleeding on the 4th of March, okay? It doesn't even matter how long you bled, okay? What is important is the very first day you started and the next day that you started seeing your period, okay? So let's just say you started seeing your period on the 4th and the next period you saw it is on day 31st. Okay, so let's calculate to determine the cycle length. So that is, this is your day one, this is your day one. So we're counting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28, or call that 28 days cycle. Okay, I want to use another cycle because it's like not all of us were so familiar with these 28 days. Let's use this. Let's use this on the second. Okay, assuming that is on the second. So let's start today to calculate. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30. All right, so day 30, this means that you have a 30-day cycle. 30-day cycle, that is the meaning. All right, so remember, I just said let us make an adjustment because it seems everybody this day 28, people assume that, oh, if my cycle is not 28, then I don't have a normal cycle. False. It does not have to be a 28-day cycle for you to have a normal day cycle. Then there is another myth I want to actually correct, that your period started on 2nd of March. It doesn't mean that it's on 2nd of April that you see the period again, or on 2nd of every other month. No. That is why it's important to just know the cycle length so that you can start calculating. The very first day you saw a drop of blood, that is the day your body recorded that you have started seeing your period. Not the day it started flowing well. Some people will say, oh, I saw my period on day 1. It didn't start flowing well. It started flowing well on day 2. So it means it's from day 2 I'll start counting. No. You're starting from day 1 you saw blood. Whether it's dark brown blood, cherry red, all kinds of color. We are starting on this day 1 to calculate specifically for this your ovulation day. All right, so cycle length sorted out. Let's get into how you can actually calculate your ovulation day. Remember, ovulation simply means the act of your ovaries releasing an egg from the follicles. It means that if that egg gets fertilized through a sperm cell, it's going to actually end in pregnancy. All right, the woman has laid egg, the egg got matured, the egg got released, it got ruptured. Okay, so that is simply the meaning of ovulation in a layman's understanding. So let us use a very important factor in calculating our ovulation day, which is factor 14. Always let this sink into you. Factor 14 is an important factor in calculating your ovulation day. So this particular cycle that is 30 days now, all we have to do is just do 30 minus 14. Okay, and that will just give us 16. It means it's on day 16 that you expected to have your egg released. So let's check out and see what day 16 will be. So starting again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So on March 17, this particular cycle, a woman is having this is expected to have ovulated on day 17. Okay. See, another mistake is that some persons think is when they stopped bleeding. That's when they'll start calculating their ovulation day. No, remember, it's the very first day. That is when you will start to calculate your ovulation day. It's not just about your cycle length now. Still start from the very first day you started bleeding to do the calculation for your ovulation day. All right. So this is our ovulation day. But one thing with ovulation is that you cannot say, because we are human beings, you cannot say, oh, since it's on day 17, is in the morning that the egg got released, is in the afternoon that it got released, is at night, midnight. You can't say, okay? We just know it's on day 17, so we don't know. That is why sometimes a woman will have this 17th day being the day she ovulates. This particular ovulation day will still extend to day 18. It can actually still extend to day 19, or it can actually start on this day 16 to extend to that ovulation day. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. All right, so this leads us to our next calculation, which is to know our fertile days. Your fertile days simply means the day that if you have unprotected intimacy, you're going to get pregnant. Simply because healthy sperm cells survive in your fallopian tube for at least 5 days. Some studies are even saying 7 days, depending on the vitality of that sperm cell. Okay, so let's say this is your ovulation day now. Your fertile days that usually last for about 5 days now will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from this 11th day till here, that woman is fertile. Okay, post this, that woman is still fertile. Because of this explanation I just explained, you don't know when the egg will rupture, so still extend to this certain date now, you are still highly fertile. All right, so when is your safe days? Your safe days means no matter the time you have intimacy, you're not going to get pregnant. Okay, so let's calculate it. Assuming you bled now day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and your period stopped on day 4. That was when the period ended. Okay, so from day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is your fertile days. And after this ovulation day, now on from day 18 till all of this, you see enjoyment. This is still your fertile days. That means no matter what happens, you are still not going to get pregnant. All right, so let's assume now that you want to actually track and say, oh, I want to conceive a baby girl, I want to conceive a baby boy. Studies have it that yes, it depends on the X chromosome and the Y chromosome. Okay, and this X and Y chromosome, they behave in opposite direction. Okay, the X chromosome is very robust. Okay, it runs very slow, while the Y chromosome, it's not robust like that. It's slimmer and it runs quickly. And because of that slim nature, it runs so quickly, the capacity of it to stay long and survive longer in the fallopian tube is very slim. Unlike the X chromosome that takes its time and just, come up to the fallopian tube, it can actually stay there. So if you ask me, the ATP, the energy level of X chromosome and the Y chromosome, they're not the same level. Okay, that explains why the X chromosome that represents the girl child, we have more stamina compared to our male counterpart. All right, so assuming you're trying to have your baby girl now, it means that you are trying to get pregnant and you want to conceive for a baby boy. All right, even though yes, you can use ultrasound to do it, but assuming that way you can't have access to ultrasound, or you're even considering the financial cost of doing this ovulation monitoring, you can do it from your home. All right, so using the manual calendar. So we've predicted that our ovulation day is expected to be this, bearing in mind that the Y chromosome runs with speed. The speed of it is so high, so you want it to make sure that it's the very first chromosome that meets that egg when it's released. So you want to start having your intimacy on the 17th but not actually on the morning of that day 17, all right? Because I said you don't know when the ovulation has happened, whether it has happened in the morning, afternoon, or night. So I will recommend you do have your intimacy at night. At night, one round is okay. Then morning of the 18th, you have to have another intimacy, all right? This is just to maximize your chances, all right? Then this is settled. It's settled. It's very, very simple, because sometimes it looks as if it's so complicated. It's not complicated. Then you're trying for a baby girl. These 2 dates are out of it for you. Even the 16 is out of it for you. So you just use the fertile days that you have intimacy during that period, all right? So that, yes, if the sperm it got there and the egg is released and the Y chromosome couldn't wait, the X chromosome will just stand the chance and do the fertilization for you, all right? Don't even think that people are not craving to have baby girls. They are craving, because girls are super, 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 duper, 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 all right? So that is it. I believe that with this now you are no more in confusion of my cycle length, my ovulation day, my fertile days, my safe days, and whether how I get pregnant with my baby boy and my baby girl. You can now sort it out using the calendar method. You can actually have the calendar on your phone or your in your home. Okay, just like this. Hold on, hold on. So just like this, you can just get your calendar and start, circling it there, or you get your a notebook. Okay, you can just get a notebook and just be using for it. Okay, all of it is still part of being intentional for a woman trying to get pregnant. There's no need of wasting your time because of a simple mathematical calculation. Assuming all things are equal with your hormones, all things are equal with your husband's sperm, all things are equal with your fallopian tube, all things are equal with the womb, you should be able to get pregnant by just timing your intimacy. Thank you.